In the current era of rediscovering long-lost treasures crafted by the masterful hands of 19th-century painters, we find ourselves immersed in the revival of exquisite artworks once again. These highly talented and prodigious artists left an indelible mark on the art world. As we delve into this renaissance of appreciation, we hope to unveil the enduring legacy of artists who have withstood the test of time, their masterpieces now gracing the world's galleries once more. In the region of northern France at Roubaix, within a family of Belgian origin, Jean-Joseph Weerts, through perseverance, managed to rise to the highest summit of his art. Long remaining as the child of the country, this young virtuoso stood out throughout his career, winning awards after awards at the Academy of Fine Arts in Roubaix, then at the École des Beaux-Arts, Paris. But who was Jean-Joseph Weerts? Jean-Joseph is the eldest son of a Belgian inventor and mechanic who came to settle in Roubaix in the first half of the 19th century to work in the textile industry, which was booming. His son's artistic vocation was encouraged very early on by his father, a former student of the Antwerp Academy. The young painter thrived in the city of Roubaix. He joined the Paris School of Fine Arts in 1867, where he was a student of Isidore Pils and Alexandre Cabanel. From 1869 he exhibited regularly at the Salon, distinguishing himself as well in religious and decorative genres as in portraiture and history painting. It was the beginning of a perfect academic career, which earned him a seat on the Superior Council of Fine Arts, receiving the insignia of Commander of the Legion of Honor, and seeing many of his paintings acquired by the state, and join the walls of French museums and public buildings for his massive murals. He managed to make a name for himself in Paris in the field of society portraits, thanks to his exceptional qualities as a draftsman and a confident classical understanding. Among his notable works is the powerful depiction of The Assassination of Marat, which we wish to review now and currently kept in the Roubaix Art Museum. This is among his first paintings dedicated to the French Revolution, and one of his best creations, and contributed to the critical and official success of the artist. The story of Marat has been painted by many artists. It depicts the 24-year-old radical Marat dying while bathing. Why did the female assailant stab Marat? Charlotte Corday's decision to kill Marat was stimulated not only by her revulsion at the September massacres, for which she held Marat responsible, but by her fear of an all-out civil war. She believed that Marat was threatening the Republic, and that his death would end violence throughout the country. The French revolutionary leader was suffering from a skin disease and needed to take medical baths, which he soaked in for hours while writing. In Jean-Joseph's painting, which masterfully portrays the event, where Marat's wife allowed the woman access to him under the guise that she had to talk to him directly, at which time she stabbed him. The figures are dramatic and well drawn. The lighting suggests Caravaggio, and the overall tone of the work is energetic and emotional, both in the way the painting is characterized and in the rigid placement within the design. Moving on to another work, we encounter a portrayal of a dying soldier at the base of the cross. The execution of the figures is exceptional, particularly evident in the outstretched limbs of the soldier and his dying horse. This composition is not only dramatic, but also carries symbolic significance, depicting a profound sense of patriotism towards one's country and faith. Weerts adeptly communicates his themes through powerful lighting and rich coloring, consistently showcasing a confident and skilled hand in his drawing ability. In the portrait work, we find he painted many celebrities, and in his overall number of artworks, he totals some 700 paintings, rivaling Bouguereau in many ways as to real production and industry. He is as comfortable with smaller sizes as he is with his massive mural works. As any artist knows, the portrait trade is rewarding and can be very lucrative, but also demanding as to how much to please the sitter and what type of unique design must be conjured up. Artists, therefore, can find it rather rewarding to paint fellow artists, so as to be able to free up the imagination and find camaraderie in mutual appreciation. One of the most famous of his works is that of the death of Barra, the young man and a faithful, loyal young soldier. The story was also one that stirred the emotions and one many artists chose to paint. It shows François-Joseph Barras, born in 1779, a young French Republican drummer boy at the time of the Revolution, and is known for his death and martyrdom at only 13 years old at the hands of pro-monarchist forces at Vendée. We have a portrait by Weerts of the young lad. As he may have looked with full uniform and brilliantly painted, he looks the part of a determined and proud soldier, willing to do his duty as charged. In the larger canvas, the action is again very powerfully painted, and its design elements are of the highest order. It can be seen that while the action depicted in reality would be stark and horrible to witness, the composition is so striking in all its elements that it overpowers the storyline, and one simply wants to enjoy each part of the painting. It became a widely popular painting in France. The skill Weerts summons to complete such a canvas is remarkable, and fills the canvas with characters that are richly painted and remarkably well placed. In turning to his very large mural work, there is the same industrious quality of fine workmanship as with his many other canvases. He pursues his commissions with intelligence, and it can be seen in the many drawings he produced that we can uncover his working methods. It is therefore hardly surprising to find the name of Weerts among the painters chosen for the new university interior. By their number and dimensions, the wall paintings of the Sorbonne constitute one of the largest decorative ensembles produced in the last third of the 19th century after that of the Paris City Hall. Throughout the centuries, La Sorbonne became and remained a prestigious symbol of the university, training and teaching many of the great philosophers and masters of theology and history. The University of Paris opened its doors in the 13th century. The orders were spread out between 1886 and the beginning of the 20th century, in several installments corresponding to the different stages of Henri-Paul Nénaud's architectural project, begun in 1883, promoting the cultural prestige of France through a resolutely comprehensive artistic policy. Weerts painted many of the more prominent figures in Paris and throughout the country, and one can easily see the profound academic workmanship at play as taught by Cabanel at the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts of Paris, who would be a leading instructor in France for many of the most successful artists of the period, some of whom we have already covered in past presentations and will focus more particularly in the future. As can be imagined in a busy atelier as that of Weerts, with many commissioned projects to be worked out, that the challenge to have fresh new ideas becomes very important. An example is, with models sitting in the studio being occupied with reading a paper while the artist is busy. Then while glancing over asks the model to "Stop, don't move. I want you just as you are," and a new canvas is quickly seized to record the moment in question. A small part of the impromptu moments caught in an inspired atmosphere in the overstimulated atelier, where creativity continually lives and thrives. In two other canvases we have very diverse subjects. In the first, a depiction that is once again of the War of 1870, where a soldier is demanding the wounded man out. The composition is intriguing with the play of lightly coloured sheets arched backward in design, in opposition to the soldier reacting with outstretched arms. Noting the bluish-coloured drape between them, adding a distinctive element, separating the two players artfully. In the other canvas, we find the horrible condition of a demon-possessed man, who is being exorcised by a priest. The poor reproduction prohibits us from a clear look at the painting, but it once again displays the wide range of narratives that Weerts handles very well in a variety of complex issues to compose and put into paint. We've added some additional portraits that Weerts was particularly well suited for, in that of the gentleman, someone who has distinguished himself in some field of honour, and it can be stated not too much is more demanding than that of a man with the typical suit attire, and how boring it can be to repetitively recreate over and over, yet Weerts once again is up for the job, as John Singer Sargent's ability handled so very well in that area. The one aspect that aids a productive studio, however, is the variety of personalities and characters one can see come through the painter's studio. And aside from the particular task at hand, it is that inventive creative spirit who imagines each person into just the right pose with just the right circumstance to be arranged, and make it all work harmoniously. As the dawn of a new century begins, we see the changes in taste begin to creep in as well. Some are good, and some not so much. The juries for the Salon can make or break a career, and also the written word by critics and the all-important placement of works on Salon walls, all factor in for the aspiring artist and for the old guard, as they compete for space. But for painters that have weathered the test of time and possess a strong constitution, there is the reward of the battle well fought, the integrity of doing a good job, as the American artist R. H. Ives Gammell often stated to his pupils. Jean-Joseph Weerts has emerged from the fog of past changes and remains an exciting painter and one with whom art lovers and well-trained painters can learn. His many canvases and impressive mural works demonstrate the very best in French painting. And finally, we hope you enjoyed this review of the work of Jean-Joseph Weerts, a very popular artist in his day, and we would like to add that his paintings can be seen in the museum, where he donated many of his canvases at the end of his career, the Art Museum in Roubaix, and also the d'Orsay in Paris. We have many more great talents to share on this channel, so thank you to our subscribers, true aficionados, and don't forget to leave a like, as it will boost our outreach and acknowledge artists now receiving their due. So until next time, it's bye for now.